How are you today? Hope you guys are fine. I'm having a very easy day. Uh, Nothing much is happening, but pre-market is very bullish. Definitely, I have to talk about the pre-market. So yeah, I hope you guys are okay. Welcome to the show today, and today is a Mag 7 kind of Tuesday because I think most of the plays which we're gonna talk about will be on Mag 7. Uh, that's it. Welcome. Anyway, the market is doing good, and I want to talk about the last 15 minutes of today's show. If you can, go look at what happened, the trade I executed, the two trades I executed, both Qualcomm and LAM, and they're doing pretty fine, especially pre-market. And towards yesterday's close, uh, we are doing pretty okay. So uh, the, the highlight of the day is definitely The highlight of the day is definitely retail sales. Apart from retail sales, I think we have to talk about the Australian bank, and Australian bank paused. It paused in the earnings, so that's what is happening. And the pause definitely it's a hawkish stand. Definitely, we'll see an aggression. We might see the Australian dollar strengthen. Exactly. Yes. So, that's it. Before I continue, let me let me repost on Twitter and allow me to do that. Just a moment. Okay, I think I'm done. And yeah, just will be joining me later. Is in a meeting. Okay. So yeah, nothing much is happening. I think the market is up. Market is up a bit. Consumer stuff doing something. And yeah, we're up. I think printed. I think double top at the top. Then came back down, but we are likely to hit 20,000 today on the Nasdaq. So we'll wait and see. I'm still a bull, not yet a bear, but yeah, I'm not yet bearish. Why? Because technically I can't see any bears. So I'll stick with the bullish stance until something changes. So, and something doesn't always mean fundamentally, because fundamentally, right now, we expect a very bearish market. So, before I go on to the stocks and everything, let me just go over the market and what has been happening on the other side. So, first things first, I think the highlight of the day is the retail sales. And let me just see just a moment. Retail sales. And for retail sales, we expect retail sales. They are actually they're out, and lower than expected, 0.1. So yeah, so that's very good for the currency, and very good for the currency. Means on this other side, not very good for the industry, for the stock market. But again, we might fade it. Why? Because we rely more on individual stocks earnings instead instead of the others, instead of this retail sales. So if the top companies are doing good, don't expect huge volatility just because of retail sales. So I know it is anticipated, but likely to affect the FX market as compared to this other to as compared to the stock market. So uh, nothing much about that. So I'll just want to hover to DXY, and we can see definitely it has affected DXY greatly, and you can see it going down. I don't know why, but I expected the market to react in the opposite direction. So so actually, I'm sorry. Uh, since the news was bad, and I don't think that not I don't think I know it was not it has not been received well by the cash holders, the FX players. So that's why we're seeing a slump kidogo, but I don't think it will persist per se because it's not that a major news event for me. Uh, we can see the opposite happening on the majors. Definitely, I know apart from the AUSI, like we said in the morning, they had a hawkish stand with them holding the interest rates at par. So that is what is happening on this other side, and yeah, that's what is happening. Everything is gaining against the dollar right now. Okay, that's what we see. That's what we see across the board. You can see. So let me go talk about this metal gold, and gold. I can see my favorite setup there, but if you can remember, if we were talking about when we were talking about gold on Friday, I told you guys I wanted to see gold at least test this this falling trend line, the counter trend line. So actually, it's a channel. It's a channel, but it's a counter trend line. It remains it's a counter trend. So what I'll just analyze price how I see it, and how I see it. I see a contribution triangle from the from the lower trend line. So don't mind me. I'll use the triangle. I won't trade gold. I don't trade gold nowadays. Nowadays, I only trade my stocks. The farthest I can go, I can do indices. But this is what price is telling me on this side. And price is pointing to a breakout which might, and very likely to retest, to, yes, it's a retest on the higher time frame. So this is it, as you can see, and it looks to be breaking that trend line. And if it breaks there, I think we should expect a very bullish run. This is not. This is not. It is not always as accurate. Uh, I told you. I told you the classicals are not as accurate on. I mean on other assets apart from stocks. I think the accuracy of classicals in stocks is greater than affects any other asset. So it might play out. Let's say 50-50. We'll just wait and see. Tutaacha tu hapo. I think 20 sort. Anyway, I look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is doing really bad today, and definitely, if you're talking about Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency, you always think about the Coinbase. Coinbase, the ticker. So it's why doing that, and I think I don't need to go on and on. I can see the same here on silver. Silver playing around quite different as compared. Not really a triangle continuation, but you can see price trying to pull back up from that slump. Really trying, but not that much as compared to gold. And, nothing much to talk about the rest of the markets. That's why I call them rest. Visit at the rest because it's not part of my focus. Right now, I want to focus to my forte, buddy. I know I am good in. So, a lot to talk about. And eh, which where do we start? We start by reviewing yesterday's trades. We can start with whatever I'm introducing. I think we should start with yesterday and our running trade. Anyway, I'll start with our running trades. Let me open up the book here. Okay, I'm ready. We're starting with Microsoft. Microsoft is going on and on and on, and we're doing good, good capital. G, we're doing good. This is what is happening. Price is playing around above definitely above the close of yesterday, but slightly playing around the close of the day of yesterday. So doing good. At least we're like let's say 1:1. in that trade. So later on, when we strike when we strike half of the opportunity, I will I will break even and take out. So that's what I'm looking to do today. I will break even, take casuals from beats at 452 area. So excited, nothing much to see there, but as always, I expect a very bullish day. So because there's nothing bearish about the technical presented to us right now. So it will be detrimental if you're going short market today. Okay, Tesla. Tesla, remember our positions were down here. I think I have two positions I showed you. I have two positions here and here. So what Tesla is doing right now, I think I have added on some things. Something I see different. If you see something different, you definitely you definitely keep updating your chart. So this is what I see. I see another counter trend line after this round. So this is Monday, and then this is Tuesday. So I just connect the highs from A to here. You can see another. We can definitely see another continuation pattern. In the continuation pattern, it looks more of a cup and handle. So what you do, you measure inside, and when you measure inside, come to find out that our TP definitely will be higher pushed higher from the 200, which we are aiming from this triangle, and price is telling us that I can go higher. So what we expect price to beat this counter trend line. Let me remove this now. Uh, After it beats that, going higher. And let me return that one, and let me trash this one. And what I'll just leave out here is the 2016, that where we are going with price, where we expect price to go when we beat that cup and handle-ish. So it's a continuation pattern. I don't want to call it any name because it doesn't really look like a very good cup and handle, and you can't call it a triangle. Best we can do is we can say we have a counter trend line, and it looks very bullish because everything checks out. So I'll just leave that there and then remind you. I want to remind you what is happening. I want to remind you that we are operating inside a head and shoulder, an inverted head and shoulder towards breakout. And this is what is look. This is how it looks like. That's the shoulder, the right shoulder. This is the left shoulder, and then this is the right shoulder, and the right shoulder quite lengthy here as compared to the left one. And for the right shoulder, here's our neckline. We expect the neckline to break. And if we see a breakout of the neckline, possibly today, if possible, we might expect price to go to 246. So who are we not to hold to 46? Or better yet, hold to 16. So this is the plan. Plan is easy. I will be doing add-ons. I'll be doing add-ons towards the top and doing add-ons and relieving some profit so that continue booking and adding. So my first add-on, I'll take this as a discount. So this is a discounted entry which I want to make today. So after I take this discount, I think I will not. I think what I'll do, I'll break even the. We had already break even yesterday's trade. So what I'll do, I'll pull up my stops, my sell stops to higher. I think we'll decide once the market is open. But once price breaks this trend line, I'll take another entry towards to 16. So and and move one of my stops for the earlier two trades to 216 and just let one trade just to go to TP at 200, the original TP. So that's what will happen, and that's my plan. So if you see me deviating from my plan, call me out, and don't forget to call me out. Anyway, the DMs are open. The comment section is open here, YouTube. So you can interact. If you have any question, ask. I think I was presented a question before we started here, and I'll answer it. It's on Comcast and AMD. I'll definitely review that. So we're going on. We're going on to Lamb. Lamb did very well yesterday, extremely well, more than I expected. So if you can remember, we had this trade here. It was only actually it was I was only looking to wet my beak. So uh, place the trade. Uh, Better seen on the 15 minutes. So after price pushed up, made the trade, and the trade was everything. The TP, the everything was estimated from this setup, the continuation setup here. But if you can remember, we were left by the trade. The trend on the higher time frame was pointing towards 1100. You can remember this is what left us, and we talked about this on Monday and yesterday. Definitely, we did a rain check on that, and after the breakout, what do we see? We see price going to test the 1100. So uh, being 1100 is our exit on the higher time frame, and we have a discount on the lower time frame. What should we do? We have the RR on the lower time frame, definitely a zero point 0.5, but towards TP you realize price is very aggressive and it's playing around fine. So what do? We break even and we pull our TP towards the 1100, maximizing the opportunity presented by the setup. And max by the date by the I mean the higher time frame setup, and it brings our RR from 1 is to 2 to 1 is to 11.9. So kuna bash hapo my friend. Eh, bash. We enjoying the peeps there. It's a very good week. It's a very good day. So what happened after our session? Price almost went like twice our expectation on the lower time frame. So you can imagine we are like already halfway there. So what do we expect today? We expect price to push much higher towards the 1100, and woo, that's a good 1 is to 2. 1 is to 12. Oh my God. Kama lini tena. Anyway, we go on. Very exciting, a very exciting trade. I don't, they don't come as often, but actually, eh, sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you do your thing. Anyway, this is another trade. We've been talking about Qualcomm. I think when last week I was all about Qualcomm. So what did Qualcomm do yesterday? Qualcomm offered us another entry towards TP of the larger time frame setup. If you remember, we were left here. Our stops, our entry was down here at around 209s, but we didn't. We were not able to make an entry because price gapped up, and we were not filled later in the day, on Monday that is. So if we estimate where we were likely to see the price go after the breakout, price was to go to the 20, the 222s. So it's the 222s, you remember, and there's the 222s. Let's put that line there, remove the extra lines here. And if you remove that, that's what we did after we found another entry. Yesterday, we found another entry with this counter trend line. We made that entry. I think it was my second last entry before I closed the show yesterday. So if you can go to uh, the last 15 minutes yesterday, I talked about both Qualcomm and Lam. So if you want to are detailed, but I'm still detailing it right now. So uh, this is what happened. We have our entry there. We have our exit, and why are you not using the exit from this? Because we can see the 222's exit from our original setup. And the original setup, I mean the hourly setup, which was pointing towards 222s. So 222s, instead of using this one as our exit, I just used the 222s. So I want to show you what something is saying which has happened right now. We did our very polite RR. I told you I'm not greedy yesterday. I just put in a RR of 1:2. So after the RR of 1:2, this happened. Pre-market. Pre-market is playing, I think, around the same move yesterday. I think around the 1:3. So I mean 3%. So this has happened. We are having 1:2, right? And if you extrapolate that opportunity again above the 222s, we can see price printing another 1:4. That is pre-market. You're not in the market yet. The market is not yet open, and some little change because the pre-market right now is at 229. 229. What does that mean? It means our original opportunity was only, we were expecting from 217 to 222. That's around $5, right, per share. And then above here we have an extra of let's say we have an extra of another $7 on top. What a time to be alive! So that's two. We were expecting five, and now we have 12. Ha! 12 pre-market. So at the open, I'm taking that exit. Immediately at the open, I'm taking that exit. And the exit will be not 1:2 this time round. It is one is to four, one into I mean 1:2, 1:4 this time, and change. Hey, very exciting. Very exciting. I like that. Anyway, that's the reason why I'm so psyched today. But we're going on. Uh, I tinkered yesterday, and I took something we call I did wet my beak yesterday, so I took I took this trade here. Why I took this trade? It's not a breakout, but I'll explain my thesis. And yes, sometimes you go against what our rules. Definitely, I'm not telling you that I'm perfect, but when you go against your rules, make sure you have reasonable risk management because we are not gods. Nobody's perfect, and at times when you have conviction of any setup, you might take an early entry. So this entry is because of this. As you can see, it's a very good continuation setup here, and the continuation setup looks like this, where we expect price to push higher from this triangle on Amazon. This is Amazon right now. So I expect price to push higher, and I will show you my exits, my TP where my opportunity lies, and the opportunity lies from here. Is the height of the opportunity, and if we break this, I've said if, I've used if. It has not yet broken, but I'm very convinced. That's why today it's a Mag 7. It's a Mag 7. It's a Mag 7 Tuesday. And I'm almost convinced that we'll see Amazon rally towards the 200. So what I did, I made a very aggressive entry way below, way ahead of the breakout point. So I did take my entry there, and I was very generous with my stop loss, which is way below here, below yesterday's low. So uh, if it plays out, it's okay. If it doesn't, it's only 0.5. That's why I'm saying. Yes, it's not good to tinker, but sometimes you can tinker if you have conviction. But make sure risk management is on your end. I think I walked you through, guys, how you guys can use the risk management, the position size calculator, and that should be your buddy. Should be your buddy, so that it can be helping you do your thing. So the best thing about this trade, this trade is rated for an 1:4. So I expect, since it's a very early entry, I expect for everyone I risk, I get for in return. So still rolling. I'll show you when I get back to the other to my MT4. Uh, and while at it, remember, well, what are we playing? We're playing not playing, but we are trading on the traders competition account. So if you've not signed up, just go sign up. Uh, the, the links are there on our handles, and this handle actually. So yeah, go do that. Going on. For the tickers which I don't have any entry on, I am seriously considering taking an entry on Bank of America. Bank of America has a very good setup, and the setup looks like this. This a triangle. The triangle, definitely, we talked about this yesterday, but it was very slowly building up, and I think we closed around here, this area. So after I think after 6:30, we saw some good strides to the top. So uh, pre-market is playing below, slightly below. It's not, but not by much, but slightly below slightly below yesterday's close. But I have conviction that price will break out, and if it breaks out, we take that trade then. I don't want to make an early entry. Why? I've never interacted with BSC before, so uh, yeah, no, definitely playing games. Why? Because as you saw earlier, we saw Bitcoin not doing as much as we expect. So what you can say right now, we are bound in between this clearly the resistance and the support which I drew, I think, last week. Think since last week. No, nothing much is happening. But if we, you remember, we still have our positions on there, and if we break this counter trend line, and this counter trend line originates from here, you can remember us extrapolating it. So this is what we expect. If it breaks here, I think we can see higher and higher and higher to the 32 to the 320s. So just buckle up. We just wait. It's a waiting game. The one which plays out, we just enter, and yeah, uh, going on. I think I'll go to Meta. I told you it's a Mag 7. It's a Mag 7 kind of Tuesday. Why? Because I have pulled up two Mag 7 tickers. Uh, Actually, yesterday I took profit on Google, and I want to introduce Meta and Apple to my running trades. And part of the Mag 7, we have Microsoft, we have Tesla, we have Amazon, we have Meta, and we have Apple now among the trades we want to be playing right now. And I've just relieved Google, so you see, I think we are knee deep into Mag 7 tickers. So and Nvidia, we don't have Nvidia on. So I'm not looking to play anything which doesn't have it doesn't have any setup to convince me to buy. So let me quickly show you how I'm looking at this setup. This setup, I noticed we had a counter trend line which was printed towards the close. And towards the close, this happened, and definitely you can see that counter trend line. And the lines you can see here are the support zones, and where I think price might pivot. So these are not they are not yet playable. These are just expected potential setups. So I expect if price has to go down, like right now we can see Meta trading below yesterday's closing bell. So closing price, I mean. So uh, I expect either a pivot here, or who knows, we might open with a pivot. So we expect a pivot. I expect, not we. I expect a pivot here. If it goes too deep, I expect another pivot here. So uh, we wait and see. But definitely, you know, uh, our or my my trigger is always up here when price breaks the counter trend line. So we wait and see. And I think pretty much, I think the same happens, the same applies to Apple. Apple has the same setup. And as you can see, we have a counter trend line here. And price can go much lower. I'm sorry. Price may decide to go down here. And what we saw towards the close is we saw a very huge rejection. Let me just go to the 5 minutes. I know I don't, I don't really trade the 5 minute, but this happened towards the close. So it means that the buyers are coming in hot, not an engulf, but considerably. The buyers wameanza kuonekana on the rear view mirror. So this is happening, and definitely, if price breaks this, I'm on board, and I want to go higher. And where do I want to go? I want to go. Let's estimate the height of the opportunity. This is the height of the opportunity here, and there we go. I think to 22s, to 20s, to 25s, to 26. I think that's a better. That's a it's a good area to take your TP. So right now, I don't want to make any entries. I just want the setup to play out the way it deems fit. But that's how I'm prepared for the open. So we're looking to place a Tesla trade if price breaks. If price breaks, let me show you this counter trend line. If it breaks here, we take a trade. Meta, same case applies. If it breaks this counter trend line, take a trade. Apple, same applies. If it breaks that counter trend line, you make a trade. So that's why I call today's show Mag 7 Tuesday. So very excited, up and up and up. Definitely we wiped, as per yesterday's close, we had wiped our previous week drawdown by far. And up, I think my portfolio right now is up 3%, and I was down 4%. So we are up. We're doing good. Who can complain? Everything I've done it here in front of your eyes. So we want to interact on a skill-based level. Okay, we go on. Hilton is here, and before I talk about Hilton, I want to answer a question I was asked before the show, and the question was AMD. They want me to see AMD. What is AMD doing? And where is AMD? I don't have it on. Okay, here is AMD. I think we had talked about AMD some time ago, and this is what we had come up with. And in the higher time frame on the daily, AMD is doing bad because it's the chip name which has AMD and Intel are not doing good in the semiconductor space, and this is what is happening. We had established this as the upper resistance point, this as a support zone, and we saw price break early in the week. We saw price break down here. I think yesterday we saw a clean breakdown here. Then we saw price coming back up, testing this same area, and now we can comfortably call this support can turn resistance, and possibly we might see price going much lower. So nothing much on AMD. I wouldn't sell because I don't like selling stocks. So I'll just wait for To see a clean setup going which can set price higher, not lower. So apart from AMD, I was told to look at Comcast. So Comcast is CMCST. Yes, I'm not wrong. Comcast. SA. Comcast. Yes, this is an Nasdaq. Siongeka tu com. Anyway, on the daily, definitely. You guys know Comcast, right? Comcast, these guys have a, nitasemaje? They are citizen there. So I think it's a media house. So Comcast is another mid cap company. I don't like mid caps. They're really very low volatile, but we can see, I think I can see good volume. Let me go back here. You can see they have good volume. They have fair number of volume. Yesterday they traded, I think, 3.1. The volume here was 3.1 billion shares. So not bad, not bad, baby. Not bad, not bad. So Comcast, I was looking at it earlier before I started this, and it was still bearish. So nothing good to talk about it. Why? Because we can see, even if it looked like a buy from 2023, we can see price in 2024 beat the last lower high, which was printed here on October 23rd, 2023, and yes, after price beating that low, I think it went high, and it looks to go lower. And right now we are price is trading lower than the last higher low printed towards the top. So still bearish on that. So Martin, if you're there, I think I've answered your question, but nothing good, nothing good. Not playable stocks. So before I go on, I want to talk about Palantir. I think Palantir has to be talked about because we had already pointed this out early last week. Last week we talked a chunk full about Palantir. One of them, a very I think that's a very good stock to hold, and why a very good stock to hold right now? It has broken a continuation setup. The continuation setups looks good, and it can only get better because it was pointing price towards the 28.6, and these are one of the mid cap companies where I can comfortably play them because I told you it's a B2G, it has a B2G business model where it's a business to government model, and yeah, nothing bad comes out of that. We saw a breakout, a faked inside down, but yesterday we saw a very aggressive pushback up, and possibly we're going to the 28, the 28.6. Unluckily, we don't have it as a ticker in our ticker roster, so just watch. Can't do much. Uh, it will be wrong to continue all this time talking about the tickers without talking about semiconductors. Semiconductors yesterday did a very huge turn. I think I was complaining about Nvidia not making. I was talking about Nvidia making those lows, if you remember. Nothing much was happening to Nvidia yesterday, and I was really, really against whatever was happening. So let me go to the 15 minutes, and this is happening on the 15 minutes, and price opened higher, and then it just slumped in the first few hours of the session, and as you can see price towards the close flashed again, and luckily enough, what do we have here? Lucky enough, we have a counter trend line. So if you see price going up, so far, you just take an entry if it beats the counter trend line. So I know what is happening right now, and Niliona, I think it was called out. It is called overtrading. It's not overtrading. Okay, call it call it the way you want, but uh, if haujapitisha your number, like let's say your exposure. If your exposure is under control, it's not over trading. So uh, I can use the zero point 0.5 as many as I want, but you might go in with a 5% in one trade, and it will seriously bite you. So what is happening here? We're just pointing out opportunities, and when pointing out opportunities, when we have an entry on those opportunities, we play the market with what is offered. So whatever you want, however you want to call it, that's what I'm doing right now. So if you want to call it over trading, it's over trading, but over printing as well. So still printing though. That's the best thing about it. So before I go on, I think I want to talk about the European indices before I go on. Let me just continue talking about the semiconductors before I talk about the European indices, because something is happening kidogo on that front. So this happened. Super microcomputers as well. We pointed this out last week. We saw this triangle. After this triangle breakout, yesterday we broke out of this triangle, and we expect price to rally to the 1200s. So the 1200s, we saw the breakout, and it was a volume breakout too. If you can go to the hourly, you can see it was a pretty decent breakout. Not as much, but pretty decent. So what we expect to expect this are retest on the lower time frame. The lower time frame, I mean the hourly. Why? Because these are set up on the daily. I think on the 4 hour the daily. So on the lower time frame, it's a lower time frame as compared to the 4 hour. So a retest maybe too soon, but if we see price rally above this, yeah, we can possibly see this. Yes, we've seen this, we've seen this, we can see this. Maybe we can see this towards here or here or here. Then we continue. And as you know, it's a staircase. And it's a staircase, not a straight line. So don't expect price just to spring up and go and go. So if you consider this Semaje, a very low retest point. You can wait for this bigger retest point, because right now price looks to be trading above the yesterday's close. So it means like the bulls want to push price much higher. So I don't want to say much before the open, because the open is in 15 minutes. Very excited to see and to book profits on. What was this? We want to book profits on Qualcomm immediately at the open. Hiyo hakuna immediately. Wakifungua to your market, I'm taking that one is to 4 and change. So I think I'll talk about TCM, but whatever TCM is doing pretty much the same. We expect price to go to the 182s, 187s, and yeah, we're still on that stair. I told you it's a staircase up. It's not a straight line, and as you can see, that is a easier to staircase, 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 staircase. And as price consolidates, you can see opportunities create themselves. Opportunities, you can see another counter trend line here. If you, that is what trading is. Price is not. It's not the line chart. You can see a straight line. But then let's can we think and see what the line chart looks like? Same. Hata huko tu ni hivyo tu. So anyway, let me go back to candles. Msiseme ati nimeanza kuonyeshana huko line chart. At even line chart, I'm even using line chart. No. We said we want to look at the European indices. European indices, okay, let's talk about European indices before we go there. We saw the EU zone wants to cut rates. And cutting rates, it's a celebration on this side of the stocks. And that being very good, we see a couple of countries, independent countries, cutting rates. We saw Swiss cutting rates. So right now, I want us to go see. what the eurozone is doing. Early in the day, we saw a slump, and let me just show you. We have a ticker called the EU50. The EU50. I was back then when the Russia war was starting. I was a champion of these European indices. I really loved them, but right now, not really. I came to find out that their spread is too huge, and if they decide to range, they range, and they are very wiki. See, I think you can see those wicks, very wiki. So if they decide to become slow, they become too slow. So not really that of a fun. And this is a setup I'm looking at here. We saw a huge slump today, early in the day, but you can see price coming back up. And if we break here, definitely we'll go higher. And better yet, we can see this on the 4 hour time frame. Why? Because I want to have a better opportunity estimate as compared to the daily. Sijui kama unaona. Let me show you what I mean. This is the price estimate opportunity if I estimate it on the daily. Sindio? Let me put it here. Haya. On the 4 hour, itakaa hivi. I want you to estimate muone the height difference of opportunity, and we are here to maximize. Ingekuwa wewe ukienda na gani? Definitely the larger one. So anyway, this is we'll go with this one. I want to trash one of them, so I want to trash this one. So I just move it towards the end huku, and then I return here so that I can do this and this. So if price breaks this, we expect price to go a bit higher to the 5300s. To the 5300s. What's happening? Okay. To the 5300s, around there, fair enough. And yeah, that's what we see on the EU50. I don't like it because huge spreads, huge commissions. So I don't really like trading the European indices. But if you can take the opportunity, unajisikia. I just showed you what I'm confident the mini will play out. The setups will play out well because it's indices, it's stocks. It's unlike the FX. I'm not very confident when I talk about FX using classicals. I'm not confident about talking classicals. I'm not very confident when talking about gold and other commodities using the classicals. But my conviction on stocks is a notch higher. So if you want to play this, feel free. But it's not trading advice. What you need to do your homework, do your due diligence. Natuko hapa kupeana signals, just analysis. So from the EU, if we drop down to the favorites, I think it's very sane to start with the UK, even if they had a Brexit, but they really move around towards the same direction. Definitely different. We have a very different price action as compared, and we expect BOE towards the midweek. I think tomorrow or on Thursday, we expect interest rate from BOE. So I think I don't see any. I just see a retracement, an aggressive retracement here, but no setup yet. A very a consolidation, not that pretty of a consolidation, but eh, nothing much to talk about. Ranged, I think, better part of the day. So nothing much to talk about there. So after UK, where do we go next? Either we go Germany or we go to the France. So let's start with the German 40. Nowadays it's German 40, not the German DAX 30, not the 30 companies kama kitambo. Right now we talk about the German 40 because they updated, and right now they use 40 stocks in the weighted index. So this index doesn't look much, but what was witnessed in the morning in the EU, in the European zone, it happened the same all over across the board. So we saw a slump in the morning. So this is on the daily, and on the daily, saw price moving down early in the day, but it was only a down for like 2 hours, if I'm not wrong. Yes, I'm very right. around 10. It was early London, so it's 10, 11. Uh, and then it started recovering. So nothing much to talk about there. And if you can do us you can do ourselves a favor, we can go to the France. So the CSE 40, sorry, CSE 40. There was a time I used to enjoy this. Nowadays, siwangaliagi mara mbili because very slow. Plus that time it was Putin. You remember Putin? Eh, Putin, my friend. Alileta some good volatility in the eurozone, especially during the breakout of the war. So we were there taking every opportunity. We were there playing the gold. I think gold was my best trade, which was there. It is documented on my Twitter. Twitter ukirudi nyuma niko na pictures and pictures and pictures of setups mingi sana. But we were there. This is what happened. Earlier in the day, we saw this long, definitely around 10. So what I'm trying to say, the eurozone today opened lower. It was pointed out for me early in the day. I talked about it. I think I answered, but we saw a pivot where we saw support, and then prices moving back up. So same story all over. But what do we see here? See price going down and down and down for the CSE 40. CSE 40 or the France 40. So nothing good to talk about. I can't take any trade here. No setups at all. We saw price here. Wow, 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 wow. Kulikuwa disaster. Let me show you what I'm looking at. This is what I'm looking at, and I'm looking at this down here. So price break this low and went low and low and low. So support resistance. Now this has support turned resistance right now, and the price just looks to go lower. Anyway, tutasema nini? We just wait and see. We are not our best tickers to play, but we will be talking about the European indices time and time again. Definitely not dismissed because what else can we talk about? Can we talk about the Aussie one? Not really. Aussie is not even. Let's see. Uh-huh. Let's go to the indices, and you can see that the Aussie Australia 200, but I want to do this and look for German 30. The index for bado retain, but you can see more and more and more. Let me not continue talking about this, but I want to checkmate somebody who my co-host played this setup yesterday. We talk about the Russell. Russell, kama ulicheza Russell jana, naumia because the Russell is moving back up. These are the small caps, and I think the RAT, actually the RAT is the best one. The small cap. That is Russell for you yesterday. So I know Jesse was in a sell, wanted to sell and sell and sell, but checkmated, and yeah, like I said, don't fight the price action of stock market. Just play the stock market until it decides to bend, and if the technicals bend, that's when I step out of the market, because right now the fundamentals are against the stock market rally, but are you but the investors are not ready to sell. So like we said yesterday during the space, that the stock market and the interest rates are negatively related. Your negatively related means when one goes up, the other one goes down. But since imetupwa nje ya window, out of the window, and they are rallying towards the same side. Why? Because even the investors are tired of waiting for what? The interest rate cuts. So it's an anomaly, but a good anomaly where interest rates are moving towards the same direction. So what else can I talk about? And before, I think we have like 15 minutes. Oh, how long do we have towards the open? I think we have 4 minutes. This mouse of mine is struggling, but do something with it. This is what the market is looking like, and if you can remember earlier in the week, we talked about this consolidation here. Yes, not early in the week. I think early, early in the week actually. Sabu, it's a consolidation we saw on Monday. We took the trade, stopped out, got button, traded it successfully, but stopped out again in profits though. This is what we're looking at. And looking at this, we saw a continuation, expecting price to go to the 750s. Then what happened? We shot up higher and higher and higher. So, Jana price was, yesterday the stock market was in steroids, but it was justified because the past 2 days, I think from Thursday, the market has been very slow. After the FOMC, after the CPI, the market was not that aggressive. So we saw a squeezed, and when market squeezes for that long, when it breaks out massive. And that's why I think we saw that price action yesterday. I don't know what we'll expect to see today, but I will continue using the price action which I'm seeing right now. And the price action which I'm seeing right now, I think we can easily spot a double top. What is happening? I'm really having a hard time using my mouse right now. I will have to play another mouse. And this is happening. We can see a counter trend line which is almost straight. So I think I'll just call this a counter trend line. It's very straight. It's a horizontal line actually right now. And the horizontal line looks to break out. And if it breaks out, definitely, let me just go to the 15 minutes. And 15 minutes. Oh my God. Not again. Okay. That looks okay. That looks okay. We can see A, B, C. I think point D is here, and we can see price breaking out of here. And if it breaks out, let me show you what I'm looking at. This is the height of the opportunity which I'm expecting. Yeah, man. Anyway, that's the height of the opportunity. I want to trash this one because I think I've not the way I'm used to plotting it. So I'll just take there. Again. Okay. Expect. What is happening? Of all days. Anyway, uh, from there is the height I'm expecting from this. Goes to here, and then we hope for a breakout from here to here. So from there, if price is breaking out, then we print another all-time high. Another all-time high above there. Yeah. See another all-time high above to 20,000. So I want to go, the market is open, and I want to go to this other side, and I want to take my exit on Qualcomm. That's the first things first. So definitely bado ijaanza kutiki hii side ingine. So where's my Qualcomm? Here it is. And open the tickers. Open the tickers, bwana. Can't wait. Can't wait. And I can see price. Yeah. Wanateseka. Hii ni hujuma. No, 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 no. Why? how many times. Let me just try on my end on my phone. I think it's sounding way it will act way better. Nitawapigia tu kelele hapa. So I'll go to my end on my end, and I want to take profit on market closed, giving me the same headache. Okay, let me show you what I'm trying to do on this other end. I think Tesla is down 90%, 0.9. What? Wamekataa. Oh, I've just been booked for 93, so it's okay. Anyway, 93 instead of 164. So I'm satisfied with that because what is this? Of all things, let me go back to the best. Go to Softy. Softy, this is what Softy is doing right now. Softy is doing good. Opened lower, a bit lower. I think that I'm not using my mouse. Really having a hard time, but bear with me. That's what is happening. I think we should go look at the health of Tesla. Tesla is really going down, but no worries. If we see a breakout, I definitely will play. And I think just the normal retracement, nothing to get alarmed about. So we are okay, still okay, and we can go to Lam to see how healthy is Lam. Lam is still going and going and going, and doing good. This side, let me see how Lam is doing. That's good. Lam is doing good on this other side. Uh, if Lam goes to fruition, we expect for 37 out of $45. So that's, I think, around almost 10%, 1 is to 10. So that's something very nice. I go to what else? Amazon goes down and down, but I think it will recover. If not, ready to take that stop, to take that loss. No panic. And there we go. There we have BSC. I think BSC is something we can take because it is almost breaking out. And if it breaks out, we expect it breaks out from there. And we expect the price to go to the 40s, and there's an exit. And if we have to estimate the RR, you can see the RR from there, from that entry to that place. I think this is fair enough for an exit. So this other side, don't mind me. I'll be taking this trade Bank of America, and this other side it is being called POA. So don't mind me. Let me go first check Meta before I come back here. It is doing okay. Bounced at exactly at the 502 I was talking about earlier. So that's that. I think Apple also wants to go up, not yet at the break. So I think the urgency is from Bank of America. So Bank of America, I want to change the screen. I want you guys to see whatever I'm doing this on this other side when I'm taking this trade. So I will replace screen sharing with this. I want you guys to see how I use the risk proposition calculator. So There we go. And setup is on the hourly. And since it's on the hourly, I'll just take this trend line from here, goes down to here. And we estimate the inside and the our opportunity, estimate our opportunity from 38.77. So you remember I have this rough list of mine here. So I go on 38.77, and if you go to the top, and expect this is 39.87, 39.87, 39.87. This is why I don't like the small caps. Why? Uh, that's just a dollar move, which is being calculated if Is it even a dollar? It's a dollar. It's a dollar point one. A dollar point one. Okay, you can imagine. And we just take an entry from there because. Okay, we take an entry from here, and here it's 39.67. So 39.67. 39.67 entry with a 1 is equals to 40.77. That's the out. So we come again, use the position size calculator. Let me do this. Hey. Wow. Okay. We are here. And we are taking a long, not instant, definitely. It's a pending order. We take it from 39.67. 39.67. And our exit comes to 40.77. 40.77. And then we want to see the lines. And as for the lines, I think that's a 4. And like we said, we want to take our exit there. So let me squeeze this, and that's my RR. If I trash the rest, I think you can clearly see whatever I'm looking at. Let me trash the rest. Horizontal trend line. I think you can see what I'm looking at. So what I'll do, I'll just make an entry. Depending order, a buy stop, a buy limit right now because happening and it has just moved above. So 39.67, and as you can see here, we have a position size of 2.69. So I'll just go there and volume 2.69, and then my stop is at 31, and the take profit is definitely 40.77. So my entry price is at 39.67, and I place my entry. So if you can see my entry, let me show it to you. There's my entry. So I'm waiting for price to come back down because the spread is a bit humongous kidogo, a bit kubwa kidogo. So we are yet to be at that price. So let us go back to our other screen, and I think that's Jesse.
Good
Jesse,
morning, Walter.
good morning. Say hi to the guys, and then as I do whatever I'm doing, kindly share your screen. Niingize orders.
Okay. Just a minute. Uh, so, good morning, Kenyans. No, it's not morning. I'm just it's my language.
But
Yeah,
it's
welcome
morning.
to another. Yeah, it's morning somewhere.
Yeah,
It's morning in the US also. The market has just opened.
just open. It's
Uh,
9.
yeah. So yeah, I'm looking at my Tesla just as it's up. Oh no, it's down, but not by quite
It's
a lot.
down.
But
So
let's just wait for things to calm down, see where we are. So I'm also looking at currently. I'm looking at the Russell not performing as expected, but not breaking any major levels at the moment. I think in due time we are going to see some adjustments in that. Again, the market is just open, nothing to worry about. Tesla is going back. I think we had news at 4:30 our time, no 3:30 our time. Let me just look around, see what's happening. Once again, my apologies for being late as a Kenyan. I think I exemplify what it means to be Kenyan.
Ulikuwa
So anyway,
maandamano.
yeah, in my own personal level, not on the streets, but on my personal level. So anyway, yeah, I think we had news. I don't know if you have gone over those. So the U.S. Census Bureau reported retail sales rose by 0.1% month over month in May. And this was up from a revised drop of 0.2% in April, but I think below expectations for 0.2% rise. So this again excludes motor vehicle sales or autos. Sales fell by 0.1% after rising 0.2% a month earlier and under expectations for 0.2% rise. So following this, I guess the dollar moved down. Let me see if that was the case. But it should have moved down if I'm not wrong.
Mm.
So the dollar moved down, should be moving down. Yeah, but still below Monday's close. Yeah, there it is. It moved down. See that huge rejection week. But yeah, we are still below. Was it Monday? No, Tuesday? No, last Friday's close. And crucially below that support level of sorry, the resistance at 1.5. But all things point to a very strong dollar at the moment. Therefore, there is no taking away from anything from the dollar. But the reactions today show a very heavy dollar following the release of the sales data. So I'm also guessing that if that was the case, then treasury treasury yields also narrowed or lowering. Yeah, they narrowed, and this should have a reduction in fact in terms of the carrying cost of owning gold. So I'm also guessing that the yellow metal was up. Let me just check that. Yes, that also happened. So gold inched up. Crucially, we are still above that 2290, 2280 level, which is good news for my conviction that we are still yet to see higher gold prices. So yeah, so my take on that is that if sales are rising by 0.1 month over month, this is I think short of that 0.2% forecast. Then I'm thinking that households are feeling the pinch from inflation. I don't know how that applies to the Kenyan context, especially on this very momentous Tuesday. So again, if sales are rising by just 0.1% against a forecast of 0.2%. This means that households or people, individuals in the US are feeling the pinch from high commodity prices, high interest rates, and slower income rises. This, I guess, in turn boosts the likelihood of a Federal Reserve interest rate cut sooner than later. And this should be a tailwind for gold, which again we are seeing moving higher on the day. Starting, it was quite low on the day intraday, but right now inching higher and higher. So the Fed's focus, I think, will be shifting to the labor market as we see some jobs numbers coming in, given that you already have the sales numbers in. Again, which is also all these sales that we're receiving today shows us that is in line with our belief that, or my belief that things are slowing down in the US, and yeah, I guess the data is also proving the same. So looking elsewhere, let me just have a quick look at crude or WTI for that matter. I don't trade Brent. I think I'm just used to crude. And you remember that we had that resistance that I was pointing out yesterday and the week before, that 80 level. We got to that point convincingly. Right now, we're breaking above. So on that, I am guessing that the market is feeling some effects of demand on the rise while supply is being curtailed. So there's some optimism on the third quarter demand. That is as we move into the summer, and there are also concerns about increased Middle East tensions, which are supporting the current rally that we are seeing in WTI or oil, for that matter. I guess the market is still looking at the strong price rebound that we have seen in the last couple of weeks as being driven by more sentiment and speculative short covering than any fresh fundamental headlines. This again was a comment that I had seen earlier uh, in a note written by an individual called Richard or something like that. So I guess, yeah, so the demand is expected to rise during the summer uh, as inventories, of course, will have to be scaled down or used up with increasing demand. And in terms of supply, the OPEC countries earlier this month extended, I think it was 2.2 million barrels per day of supply cuts. This is slated to end on the end of this month, which is June 30th, to the end of September, which is next month. And therefore, we are expecting that for U.S. inventories, that is crude inventories, which have in the last few months been which have been trending higher. This is over the last few months. Sorry, yes, I think a month and something. Again, this is just to show that inventories have been declining while demand is increasing, showing that supply is on the downside while demand is on the increase. This again points to higher oil prices, and I guess that is what the market is pricing in at the moment. Remember that this that state cuts on supply are yet to take effect. They are yet to take effect. They will take effect starting from the end of this month, that is June 30th, to the end of September. So again, it's not that they have already happened. I guess people are just buying the rumor. As I always say, it's always advisable to buy the rumor and sell the news. So again, this is might explain why we are seeing higher oil prices, especially on the day where we had reached a low of 79.96. Right now, we are playing about with that 80 level, that 80.79 level. And I'm guessing that we are yet to price best oil prices yet. So this might go higher. So the immediate target for me, again, will be the current of the resistance that is sitting at 82.45 or zero point 0.5 level. Again, you remember that I had a bearish outlook, but again, the markets change their dynamic over time, and therefore your vision has to change depending on what you're seeing and what the mood of the market that you can feel and the feel that you have generally in the market. So therefore, right now, I think with that uh, diminishing supply and increasing demand, I think I am very comfortable in changing my view on oil, and therefore I am looking curiously at maybe a bounce off that 80 level towards the 82 level or maybe higher. Remember that we still have almost half a month before these cuts in supply come into effect. And therefore, I think for this time, I'll just be looking to buy that Shuma and yeah, and see what happens after that. So again, going back to gold, I think we're just turning green after we have been in the red for the majority of the day. I think I remember checking this chart early on, and we were well in the red. I think we are at around 0.25 at the last time I was looking at the chart. Right now we are up .10% on the day that it's seeing the Nasdaq also turning green from a day when it has been quite fairly flat during early hours of trading. This again goes back to say that the Nasdaq is not really that strong on per se, but it is strong technically, given that most majority of the stocks which form this index are doing quite well. The cheap names that we have been talking about, the tech names that we've been talking about, they're holding the market up there. Although the market is quite flat on the day, but we're expecting that to see something play out later on, because tomorrow, remember, we have holidays. I don't think there'll be much movement in the market. So maybe if a move is coming, it should be coming today. Walter.
I think you continue kidogo. Let me finish up here something. Sir?
Yeah. I'm also looking at my portfolio since I just came in. Portfolio is not looking bad,
That
but uh, said Tesla is coming back for the gains that we had already made. I think let me just refresh that, see what is really happening. Uh, Again, I think everything is taking too long to around here. Um, I think sales coming out lighter than expected means that people are not really willing to consume more at this particular time. Uh, oh my, Bitcoin is tanking. What is happening to the crypto guys? Crypto bros we should bring a crypto bro on to tell us what
Bana.
is happening with Bitcoin. I've seen most of these guys complaining from my news bladder. Yeah, from my circles, the crypto guys are really complaining that their particular focused crypto assets are not doing as much. I think Bitcoin, being the mother of all cryptos, it's not doing quite great right now. I think we're just below 65, that 65 level, and moving lower. And I think it's a rebound. I'm not so sure about how guys trade crypto assets, but for me, this seems like a rebound. So maybe just picking up a few crypto bros along the way as they seek to move even higher. But again, that remains to be seen later on. Also, the Euro USD, I think this was an interest of mine. I had a position at, let me just check that real quick. Oh, everything is moving quite slow. What is wrong with the internet today? Have we been retweeting too much on Twitter? Yeah, or tweeting for that
Today,
much?
I think
Yeah, I
my
think
problem
everything is just.
on
Sorry?
my end, I think I have a mouse problem, so I'm really suffering today. I don't know what's happening with my mouse.
Oh,
Anyway, continue.
yeah, I think I was saying that my charts are not seeming to be loading as expected. I don't know what is up with the internet today. On my side, let me just try to change ISP. Same thing. I just change ISP. Nothing is happening. I don't know what is really happening with internet today. Might be a letdown. But anyway, a good time to look at energy names. You remember yesterday I was talking about Oxy and Exxon. Those things are rocketing. Today they opened up 2% each up. I guess it's because, like I told you guys, like we talked about a few minutes ago, oil is on the rise. Well, oil is on the rise. At this point, everyone is talking about higher energy prices, higher oil prices. That boat, I think, is what that basket, the energy oil, the energy names, the energy basket. And my watch list, I only have Occidental Petroleum Corporation, that is Oxy, and I also have Exxon. And although I don't have a position in either, I think it's high time I consider taking a bullish position, albeit a short term, given that the rally in oil might not be sustained quite long. I think I just talked about this. It's a case of buy the rumor, sell the news. Looking at Euro USD, I think my position is not doing okay, apparently, because I think it's because of the weak dollar today. And yeah, but we still have uncertainties in Europe. So my long-term bias is not changed at this time. I'm thinking that maybe we see that bounce today. Again, you remember that I talked about USD coming back up to pick me down, to pick me up on the way down. So this is one of those cases where you wait for that bounce up, but you still have that long-term bearish bias. So on Euro USD, I'm still long-term bearish bias, but keeping in mind that anything might change at any one moment. Like I changed my all position again. For if anyone is a beginner around here, I think. I'm not sure of the numbers, but if I think there are not so many. But if you're completely a new beginner to this, your mind will change quite often. You might hold one bias today, tomorrow everything is upside down, and you have changed everything. So yeah, I was being asked today by someone, what kind of a trader am I? Am I a swing trader? Am I a what trader? I told them I don't box myself in any kind of categorization. I think my individual preference is just to study the markets and trade them how I see them, because we don't have to belong to a religion. In trading, you don't have to belong to a box, to any kind of box in this kind of industry. I think for me, what I see is what I trade. USD is nearing my stop outs. I think I have two positions. I remember yesterday I said that I had a previous entry. I think they're all marked up and synced to my platform. This is my broker's platform. So what you're seeing right now is what I was trying to do. I was trying to sync them so that I have them in the right places. Yeah, so it's approaching my stop out level. I'm really hoping I'm not stopped out, but if that happens again, it's the reality of the game. That's how it happens. Wow, that bounce has really been momentous today. I was not expecting such a big bounce on sales numbers, but I guess it's the weak dollar that wow, the dollar is really weak on the day. What That's a quite a reaction. I was not expecting such a reaction, but I'm guessing, yeah, like I told everyone, I think we're discussing this last week. Markets are remaining quite emotional. Guys are reacting to every bit of information in the strangest ways because I think everyone is just switching to a fundamental bias, just looking at the fundamentals with an extra set of eyes, and I think this is exactly what we are seeing. Following a week that we saw volatility rock the markets, big news last week. I expected this week to be quite calm, and not as volatile as the past week. But things are proving otherwise because I was not expecting such a big reaction today, but it's exactly what is happening today. We are seeing an animated bounce in the likes of Euro USD, the majors, of course, reacting to that the dollar weakness. Uh, Gold, I think, wow, gold is on the rise, just turned green, zero point 0.3 of a percentage up. Things should be looking quite interesting as this day progresses. Wow, just settling in. I just came in as market opened, so everything is just quite animated. Walter, is everything right on your charts? Because mine seems to be sluggish.
Okay,
Uh,
I think I'm okay. Apart from the,
okay.
uh, let me show you my
I
charts.
do,
Uh,
yeah, I do on luckily, we can share a window, not the whole screen. Yeah,
yeah,
that
yeah.
is sad. Uh-huh.
Uh, this is what I'm looking at, and I think I've been just. I'm looking at BSC. BSC is doing quite well. My position is running. I got filled. I was talking about this, and this is why actually I wanted Jesse to come in, and My position is doing really well, as you can see. Definitely. What else should we look at? I think we should look at the other names. And the other names, I was just estimating where I should be taking my buys on the rest of the Mag Sevens because just as you've seen, I want to play Meta in April, so I was making my pending orders and estimating where they should be. So
Yeah,
I've
I
already
was
done.
wondering. Tell me about Meta because I'm also very interested. It seems to
Okay.
be very bullish, and the fundamentals. Yeah, just tell me something more about it.
Okay, Meta is fairly valued. That's one. So even if the other stock market players behave funny, I know most of the Mag Sevens are overvalued, but Meta right now is very fairly valued. That's the fundamental side of it. And technically, here we have a very good setup. And for the very good setup, there's a counter trend line. I hope you're paying attention, Jesse. If not, I had already talked about this, so I'm
Okay.
just repeating before actually you came in. So
Okay.
and I'm really want to see what Nvidia is doing, and I think imeniacha as per what I'm seeing here. So this is a counter trend line here on Meta, and for this counter trend line, if it breaks here, I think it's a pretty good triangle, if I'm not wrong. Let me squeeze this in and then uh, let me do this kidogo kidogo. There's a pretty good triangle here, visible on this 15 minutes time frame, and there you go. Having really a hard time using the mouse, the pad on my laptop instead of. That's what I'm looking at. So if I see a break here, we're going to 520s. So that's what I was keying in, and we have Apple with the same setup and looking really good, and waiting for that entry. Anyway, I want to go to Nvidia. I think Jesse, you've seen whatever has happened. Apple, Sindio? Jesse.
Yes. Sana.
So
Yes.
I hope you've seen Sindio. So
No.
this is tumeachwa. I think I had mentioned about this consolidation and this counter trend line before. So that has happened. I think a couple of 15 minutes, 30 minutes ago, the breakout has just happened and the price looks to go higher and higher. You can't blame it because looking good, can't complain. It was actually it was a very tight setup because but it is better visible on the 5 minutes, so you can imagine the RR. And I think the guy who is very comfortable doing this is Jesse, not me. So I don't like going too low, Tena, going to the 5 minutes. So uh, we wait. I think this setup is enough to boomerang price to I think once 134s before we see another meaningful retracement. And going down, I want to see something else. And before I see that, I want to see the health of Microsoft. Microsoft has opened low and low and low today. So is it healthy? Still healthy. Possibly testing the what we call the FVG. Well, unaona ninatumia the fair value gap. Huh?
We should
Jesse,
have one of those ICT guys come in. One of those
we act-
ICT people should come.
I think before we end this week, I think we will have to interview not even interview these guys to come say hi. We want to bring the top three of the competition, the guys who won. So I think we'll be in
Uh,
touch with Fauz. I'll reach out to Fauz and tell Fauz to come. At
let
least,
me be honest before they even let me be honest before they even come in. I've
uh,
watched only one video, and I
uh,
think it was a 15-minute video by the guy. Further from
uh.
that, I know nothing about what he does, but I am
Oh,
really
okay.
interested
Oh,
because
Dennis. Was that Dennis or James? So I think I'll get in touch with James and Dennis to come here and show us their.
I'm actually talking about the ICT fellow.
Oh, the
I've only
ICT.
watched I've only watched
Serious.
one. 15-minute video, just one, talking about FBG. I think you referred to me some time back that
Actually, it's me.
only
Last
one,
year, I referred
yeah,
that to
I
you.
only watched one video, one 15-minute video, and I was done with the guy. I've never gone back to look at what he does. But obviously, if he's managed to capture such kind of attention in the industry, then
It means
I think
something.
I should get we should get someone to talk about him because I really need to know what he's all about.
Yeah, so I think we might see a bounce around here. So that's a good area, and we expect that. So Tesla is performing poorly, but I think I'm very safe as compared to this guy's entries. I think I'm better than Jesse because I know Jesse. Ali, you entered yesterday, right? So
On
Sidia,
what?
Jesse,
On
you entered on
on
On Tesla. On Tesla.
No, I had a running position. I had a running position. Still have it.
From
Two of
from
them
Friday.
actually.
From Friday or
Yeah,
from yesterday?
one from Friday, one from Monday, one from Monday. Yeah.
Okay. So pretty okay. Same, I have a running position. I have both of my positions running from Friday. So what we can see another counter trend line here. Can we take this one? I don't know. We'll just decide. We wait for price action, but I want to see some. I hope the market rebounces back up because right now it looks healthy. I think we can see the Nasdaq trying to go higher. So. It was just health check. It was just a health check, and another health check here on Lam. Lam is doing really good. I think this is my best trade this week. I think it might be my best trade this month. Last month was Nvidia. This month I think Lam is doing a good job, good job. So health, still checking on health. That's how we look on Bank of America, and not bad, but a retrace. We can see price coming back in. Uh, Not really proud of that, and we can see now here on the other side of Amazon. Amazon is seems it has found a support, and good for us. It has found a support since we want to see price go higher and higher. Uh, if all goes well, break that counter trend line, and I think we can see price moving much higher and higher for the Mag 7. So we still at it, but it's couple anyway. Let me see something else. What can we look at? What can we look at today? And I want to trash two names. I want to remove GameStop, and I want to remove AMC in my watch list
Nah,
because the
GameStop.
hype.
GameStop is a GameStop is
Huh?
a stinker. GameStop is
Why? Why? Give us your whys. Just has just dropped. Ooh, anyway, uh, I think I'll just go on. I think I'll just review Netflix today, and this is how Netflix is looking. Netflix still approaching the 680s, 683s, where we plotted our opportunity from last time, and that's how it looks like. Bado ijafika, but very close to fruition. But what I want to look at is Adobe. I noticed a consolidation yesterday on Adobe, and this is what I see on Adobe. And if you can remember, we were saying on Adobe that price is likely to test the gap down on earnings, and the gap down on earnings after a very good earnings report last week. We now see our first consolidation, and our first consolidation looking to spring price much higher. So I expect a good consolidation, and the purpose of the consolidation is to give us an opportunity. So I expect price to go much lower kidogo so that it can give us a good counter trend line. A good counter trend line, you know what that means. It means an opportunity for us. So I'll be watching Adobe, and it has been a while. I think almost a year plus since I played Adobe. So we buckle in and hope for the best. And buckle up, I mean. Sasa hii kizungu. Anyway. We go on and on. Look at what else can I look at? I think I see a ticker here. I think I see Micron. Micron is doing wonders today, up 5%, and I'm very interested to see what is happening. And I think we introduced this ticker on the. I introduced this ticker on my watch list back on Monday. So I think this is what we are witnessing right now. The ticker is going, it's flying without consolidations. It's flying and flying and flying. So I cannot just take an entry because I don't have any conviction or any setup to justify my entry. But the setup is really flying. So hey, kama mnajua siri mniambie. Anyway, not about that. We continue to the biotech. Biotech is going down, down, down. Nothing good to smile about there. And going up, I think Qualcomm. You've already seen what Qualcomm has done. Qualcomm is still printing high, 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 high. So this is what has happened. I told you this was to happen. We this setup ran to fruition to 22s exactly there. That's where the broker has given me take your profit and leave the rest on my table because amekataa kunipea the 4 and some change I was talking about pre-market. So well and good, napea kaisari yake. Anyway, uh, this is we trash. Actually, that's what just done. After you are done with the setup, what do? You trash the setup. Why? Because you don't want to be fixated with one setup and what happened last. So just wait for another setup, and hopefully we'll progress with another setup. So we just wait on that. It won't be a day if you don't talk about Google. Google, what has Google done? Google is still in consolidation, back up there. It was not the best consolidation we've seen so far, but what we can see a counter trend line. Do we call it a counter trend line? Yes, we can call it a counter trend line because it looks much and much clearer right now as opposed to yesterday, and that's how it looks like. And I told you today it's a Mag 7 day, so a Mag 7 justifies itself because everything looks great. And I want you guys to join me, help me, join me on the other side, help me make this position. Uh, and that's how it looks like. Let me just use a triangle. Ndio muone vile inakaa. It looks very nice, very nice. So we start point A, we go down to point B, we go up to point C, and I hope we have a D here. We have our D here. So this is to happen. This is to happen to price happens to if price happens to break that counter trend line, the AC line, yeah, definitely you can see the AC line. We expect price to spring back up and spring from, let's estimate our opportunity offered by this setup. That's our trough low, trough high. And if we break out from around this area, and around this area, I think I should give it around where? Around here. Around here. We make our entry there, and we hope price will be testing the 280, 180s area. So if we have to put our RR, it will be, I think, around 1:2, between 1:2 and 1:3, depending on how price action looks like. And I don't want to be greedy. I think I'll just go with 1.23. So that's a substantial. Najua kuna watu wanateta wakiona how big that stop loss iko, but when you're making your entries, make yours, I make mine. Nimeongea vibaya? Kila mtu ajiwekee yake. Anyway, kila mtu ajiwekee yake. So I want to shift to the other screen. Don't mind me. So I want to shift to the other screen. And kindly, you guys, you can say hi at hapo kwa comments. You can just go at, you can just wait a minute. Okay. And hapo kwa comment, say hi. If you have an objective, you say you state your case. That's what I'm looking at. That's Meta. But right now, we want to see Google and what is happening on Google. So, what is happening on Google? Google is here. It's top two on this watch list on this other side. And first things first, we do that counter trend line. And I exited my Google yesterday. Why? Because haikuwa inakaa poa. It was just running and running and running without conviction of what is happening. So first things first, I'll estimate my opportunity from down here. I do it manually. So you've been seeing whatever I've been doing. So that we have a low of 178, 178.40, 178.04. I'm sorry, 04. Whoa, 177. When ilikuwa nimejiba 177.23. That is the low, and the high, we expect a high of 181. I'm just estimating the height of the opportunity. So it's 181, 181, 17, 181, 17. So I now introduce what you call my position size calculator. Before that, what is happening? There it is. First, I find the difference 181.17. 181.17 minus 177.23. That gives us an opportunity of $3.94. That's what we expect from this continuation. And having said that, we expect a breakout around here. So I expect a breakout around 179, 179.68. So 179.68, hoping to get 3 points. So I add 179.68 to the 3.94. Even ndivyo kunaenda on my end. So I expect 183.63. So I'm still writing down. Mnasikia hiyo panicky. Aha. So my out is at 183.63, and my entry is at 169, 179.63, 179.63, and my stop loss, I think we have to find that manually, because I think I'll just pull it up. 177, we have it up, and we estimate it to, okay, you can see my take profit up there, my entry around there. That's an estimate, but we'll just go with it the way it is. So I want, I think right now you can see on the chart, we can see around 1:2.3. So this is what I'm looking at, and let me try and drag this down. Why am I doing that? I'm dragging this down so that you can see here. It's 2.23, 2.23, 1:2.23, and I want to risk 0.5. So it's 0.5, I'm sorry, 0.5% of the trade. So I just risk 48 and I expect one weight. Not greedy, just there. So I can make want to get my order, and if I'm risking 0.5, it means I have a position size here, as you can see, 0.27. So I go at just 0.27. So ndio mtu aseme ati Uh-huh. You've never shown us how to do this, and this is how I do it, and I'm doing it live in front of your eyes. 179.63, my stop loss at 177.84, and I think my take profit is at 183.63. So we just wait. We place, and wait. I'm hiding the lines so that you can the position size lines so that I can show you what I've booked. That's a pending order. I've just entered. So I want us to go back to the other one, to the other screen. Definitely, I told you I'll be doing this often, showing you how I approach the markets, how I make my entries, because we want to change the narrative of this game. And Tesla is down 2%, and it is wow, inaanza kunishtua. Anyway, we just go there and see how bad is bad. It's not yet bad. It's not that bad. I think it's something manageable. And if you can see Amazon, what is Amazon doing? Amazon is really trying to come back up, and I'm rooting for it. I think we can see high and high, and if we can see BAC is back down, but still trying to pull back up. So that is something commendable about it. And what can we see? We can see coin doing bad, and coin doing bad means one thing: everything is going bad in the crypto world. So, like just as said, we think we should invite one of the crypto boys to at least help us, eh, to help us, to explain to us whatever we expect. I'm sorry, I'm very sorry. Sorry. Hmm. We soon we will be inviting more guests. I think it was a success having invited a guest last week. So you remember the positions on Coinbase, and it will stick to be like that. So nothing to talk about there. We're just waiting for the Mag 7 to play out, and so far nothing really is happening. But we have our positions ready. It's better to be prepared for an opportunity and miss one, other than you find an opportunity and you're not prepared. But right now we are very prepared and can't wait to see this unfold. So I think we should go and look at how the entire market is performing. And this is how Nasdaq is doing, and Nasdaq is in a flag in a range position where we can see price being supported here. Let me try explain it and try and draw it. We can see that support. I'm sorry for my cursor today. I'm really having troubles with my menu today. Something called the mouse, but I think I'll just cop one tomorrow, and won't have much problems. We're doing this live, so we expect if price breaks here. This is a flag. Let me tell you something about a flag. There are very many ways to take advantage of a flag, and I'll tell you the conservative way. The conservative way is what I've done here. I've just measured the in the flag, and then try to see how exponential it can go. But there's another one called measuring the pole. So measuring the pole, you have to measure the pole from the where the pole started to the flag high, and then use this, transfer it here. I'm sorry. Let me do this again. Use that flag high, that flag. Use the flag distance, and use the pole height from the low of the flag towards the breakout, and you can see the not so conservative one points there. So if you are looking to trade the flag, personally I prefer trading this one, the conservative one, but this is the more aggressive one where we expect price to go to the 20, 20 to 34s, to 30s area. But this right now, it's in the 20,077. So uh, acha tuone, but it's a continuation setup, and we should welcome it the way it has come. Good thing about it, S&P 500 is speaking the same language and has the same setup, actually the same one. Uh, with with that, you can easily see that, and you can easily see the other one down here. And now I want to, instead of using those lines, just want to replace it with the way I've done the Nasdaq one. But this is how it's looking. And we wait and see what will follow. But that's a good consolidation, continuation trend line. And this is the A, this is a B because the lowest, this is a C, our point C. We don't know where our point D will come from. So this is not a fixed, this is not a fixed line. This is not a fixed trend line down here. So the one that matters is this, the top one, where if price even decides to pivot from here and just break that trend line, we expect price to go much higher after that breakout. And at least, let me estimate this one, and at least go to, don't want to write anything. I'm really having a hard time here. So we expect, let me, kidogo, kidogo. Don't mind me. It's my mouse doing all this to me. But we expect price to move much higher to the 55s, 5500. Uh, yeah, pretty decent one. So what are we looking at next? We go see the health of Amazon. Amazon is still doing good. Trying to go back down, but who is complaining? Still very safe. I think I should go to Lam. Lam is doing exemplarily well. Hiyo hata no. Hey, let me go to my MT4 and see how much Lam is pocketing right now. Lam right now is at 305. That's a 3% inside peke yake, haijachanganywa na kitu. Looks very nice. So once in a while, like intaniruhusu to, if something is doing good, I have to say it, and I have to say it with my chest. So it's looking very nice. I think we can see what booking is doing. Uh, Booking, we talked about booking yesterday, and booking yesterday, we expected the price to go much higher. That's what price is doing right now. We didn't get a breakout. Uh, we were late to the party, but the party it's still going on. We were trying to find a discount yesterday. We didn't. We tulishuku. Why? Because the retracement towards the point D of my setups, it was pretty shallow and very weaky. So didn't make an entry, and it happens sometimes. So I'm moving on to Adobe, and Adobe is doing something I want to see it do. I want to see price go down, and if price goes down, I think we can comfortably call this a counter trend line, a very sufficient one, because if we can see price at least go, let me show you the price, let me show you how the price I expect price to move from my end. Goes to there, then at least it tests this area, not up, around this area, so that it breaks out. So that's what I'm waiting for. And just a minute, let me try do something here. Uh, Uh-huh. Going on. Let's see what should we do with NVIDIA. What is happening in NVIDIA? NVIDIA still going and going. We said it. We expect it to go to the 134s area. So we just wait and what else? What else? What else? I think Broadcom is down today and calls for some. We have to see what's happening with Qualcomm. Qualcomm, the first hour of the day down and down. Just I think just a retracement, but I think we saw a setup go to fruition from down here. If you can remember, Similiona setup yake before earnings shoot to this area and doing good, doing good. So what we know about Broadcom have they have announced a stock split. So same, it's a chip name, same as Nvidia, doing very good. As you can see, its price it's ranging at it's around 1800s. Too expensive for the ordinary wananchi, the ordinary investor to buy. So they have to do a stock split so that they can make it at least cheaper and affordable to these other. So uh, on this side, I think Jesse is back on my end. Sijui kama Jesse, I'm sorry.
What's the ticker? What's the ticker on the MT5 for Lam?
Lam, LRCX. Hapo
Okay.
unajua unaumia. You will go there, you will find the price has gone and gone and gone. Acha tu nikuwe roho kidogo. Let me just show you. Let me show it to you. Ona.
Okay.
Iliachwa bana. Ilikuwa jana.
Hiyo
Yes,
iliniwacha. Gone,
hiyo
go.
kulecha.
Yeah, it's a
That's
gone car.
gone. And
Anyway,
it's only $10 to fruition. And
wow, nice.
I'm sitting on a 1:10. Acha tu
Hey,
niendelee
nice
na hiyo.
trade. Nice trade. Yes.
Yeah, it's a
We should
pretty
get
nice.
those buttons. We should get
Ate?
those buttons as soon as possible.
Which buttons? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
The,
We should work on that. Hey, we should really work on that. Anyway, let's not tusichoche sana. Let's not promise too
yes.
much because these guys are listening and they will hold us accountable. And
True.
yeah, so I think we can see what Citibank is doing, and I think I should just go over banking stocks because I'm right now I'm in a trade of BAC, BAC, BAO. My broker calls it BAO and BAC on this other side. So banking stocks are looking very bullish today. With a retracement, I think I see a substantial retracement on Citibank, and I don't want to continue to. I don't want to talk about much about Citibank, but that's what is happening. I can't see any setup right now, so we don't have anything to play right now. So yeah, tuachane nayo. We go to JP Chase Morgan, JP Morgan Chase. So JP Morgan Chase as well is doing good, pretty much up for the day. And what can we see? We can see a channel down. I don't know. I don't know if you saw that as easily as I saw it. I saw that channel, and what happens with the channel? We expect price to move much higher and possibly break this channel. If it breaks this channel, I think we can welcome bulls aggressively. So that's what I'm looking at, and nothing much to talk about it. And this happened. I hope we were expecting a good continuation last week before I think it was Wednesday evening, where price was to uh, last week Monday hivi. Tuesday we were expecting a good breakout, but nothing happened. Instead, it just gapped down, and now it has made another setup, which is the channel. It's not really a setup for me, but just a signal to know where price is moving next. So I think Jesse, you should be preparing your charts as I'm closing down here. I think you should be coming over soon, so prepare your charts. So pretty much the same because J.P. Morgan and Goldman Sachs, they are very correlated. because the yeah ni ma OG, the OG banks in the US. So pretty much the same. You can easily see that channel. The channel. This is how it is looking. Uh-huh. Looks that way, and just like the same way I've just mentioned about JP Morgan Chase. We expect price to move higher and break that counter trend line of the falling channel, and possibly shoot price much higher. So come back up, and Tesla is again down and down, and now it's down below 2%. And no worries, because I have my entries are pretty much low. And what else am I looking at? We have to look at BlackRock. We mentioned something about BlackRock yesterday. And BlackRock, we saw that. You remember this? You remember this daily mini triangle? Jesse, are you there?
Yes, man. Yep.
Uh, Prepare your charts kindly. Uh,
No problem.
okay, I'm waiting on my end. I can see it up. Anyway, this is a continuation triangle I'm talking about. So we're waiting since it's a daily setup. We just wait. I think possibly it can even break next. It can even break next week. I mean next week, next month. But the thing is, we just wait. So I want to invite Jesse back, and I think Jesse can talk about the other markets, how the other markets are doing. Because when you stuck with me, it will be always stocks, and the rest on the light note. So Jesse, over to you.
Okay. My internet might be down, but you know what's not down? Gold is not down. WTI is not down. Nasdaq is not down. What else? What else? What else? Oxy not down. Exxon not down. Yeah, the rest of it. Nvidia not down. The rest of it just down. Man, Microsoft is down 0.35%. Meta is down half a percentage down. Tesla, the beloved, is down 2% and counting, which again is a bummer, given that I'm holding two positions on the stock. And I don't really get it. Why is it down on the day? Any news that I'm not aware of, or is it
Not
just
really. I think it's just a
simple
slow
market?
day. It's just a slow day.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just simple price action. Nothing much is happening. You can the same as other stocks. I think the stock which is rallying too much today is Lam. We can see Qualcomm doing the same thing, and SMIC, because that one is always on steroids. We can see the cheap names doing some beautiful numbers, as well as Micron, because Micron is also a very cheap name. So Micron is up almost six. I think that's the hugest ticker on the hugest move on my end. So I don't think that much is happening apart from the semiconductors. So back to you.
Just look at this. The Nasdaq is doing quite literally nothing on the day. We've just been stuck between a range, and this is the
But
range between
still,
19
a
and
very good
and
consolidation. I like that consolidation.
yeah, yeah. And by the way, do you think we're going to see the pullback anytime this week, or we have to wait a long time to see a pullback on tech names?
When it happens, it happens. I don't want to speculate that. What I'll be doing, I'm always on the other side on this topic. If it's going up, why do you want to see it going down? Because fundamentally
Same,
is
same,
doing
same,
any. Right
same,
now, if
same,
you're
same.
not buying, when it breaks out, buy. When it breaks out, buy. If you want to fight the market, eh, it's either hey, baby,
So
don't
let me
fight the
just talk
market.
about one of the few positive names in my portfolio, and that is silver. Today, not really positive, but it's moving in the right direction. I talked about this. We saw that kind of support near 28, 845, which was our breakout point. And we've just been moving slowly in my preferred direction. Nothing major to report on it, but the position still holds. Stop loss still intact at below that swing low that is at around 28.4 28.5 or so. Yeah, so yeah, stop loss still intact for silver. Gold, not a very clear reading from where I stand, but with the soft data that came out today, then maybe it inches us closer or closer to that rate cut that everyone is talking about. And by the way, that rate cut that everyone is talking about, everyone is so sensitive to the news coming out with so much emotion that any small alteration or any soft data that coming out of the US is taken as a step closer to the rate cut. That is why everything is just so animated at the moment. But still, the reason I say that right now, that, yes, you remember I had a position down here when we touched current support. Again, we came out, retested it, rejected it heavily. We're still inching. Today, I think we came inching closer to that support level. Again, rejected, assisted by the soft data that came out. The reason I'm quite hesitant to add on a significant portion of a position in gold is because this is not the kind of action I like to see on gold. I don't like to see this back and forth. I don't like to see the up and down, the backward, as some prefer to call it. I don't like seeing that because all that choppiness adds to uncertainty. And conviction for me is best taken when we break out of the range. Say we come here to 23.35. Let me just chart that up. Because to me, that is acting as current resistance right now. I think we are past the resistance point that was previously looking at the 23.90 to 23.24 level. Right now, I'm looking at resistance as 23.35 or so. So let's say we come up here, and yeah, we break convincingly. That is, I mean that from our current position, we come up, and break it convincingly. And convincingly, I mean not break it then come back down. I mean break it and close above. That to me is convincing. Will be convincing enough. If that happens, then it will mean that it justifies everyone's positioning that, and even my positioning that this commodity is headed for higher prices, and we might be resuming the bull run or the rally that we have been experiencing over the past few months. So again, that for me is yet to happen, and that for me will be a clear sign that I need to add on this position, because we'll have made. Look at this. We'll have made this was a low. We will come and we made this higher low. Right now, if everything holds as it is, we'll be making another higher low. So we're breaking above that. We'll have made higher high. Look at this high, high, higher high. If we can and make and break that, then we'll have made a higher high. That confirms a trend towards the upside, or towards higher gold prices in that kind of a manner. So again, that is yet to happen for me, and that is why my price reading on gold is right now quite reserved, because I am not seeing the clear signs. Yes, we might be making lower highs and higher highs, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, three consecutive times. We also technically have around also the same number of higher highs. So that's, to some people, or in the textbook matter of things, if we are going by the textbook, that means we are bullish on gold. But that again is not as clear as I would want it to be. Another reason I'm saying that is because once we break that current resistance 334, then we might be looking at a very good range, that is from 23.34 to around 376, that I like to play in such kind of where it's not all choppy on the left hand side, and it's quite clear on the left hand side. Again, that adds on to my clarity that nothing will be blocking our path to run up to 2381. So again, that does not happen. So what are the chances we move down there? Again, I would say it is a kind of a 50-50 scenario where we might be playing around these levels, and then something happens and we are back down. We are coming back down here to 2284, and then again from there, all indications will be that we might be moving even lower than that. So I don't want to see that. That is why I am quite I am quite uncertain on what kind of direction this thing is really trying to take us. I'm not quite sure that it wants to take us to the upside or to the downside, and for that reason, I'm sitting it out for the moment, not adding on to that significantly low or small position that I had earlier on. Yeah, so that is it for the commodities. I know there are very many gold traders. I think for the last time we met with participants in the last month's competition, I think I was assured that very many participants in that competition are gold traders, just judging from the sample that was present on the day. And by the way, if any one of you is watching this and would like to attend this month's ceremony, we are yet to confirm the date, and I guess that will happen once we find the winners for the month. And if that happens, then kindly make your way. I think I will be sending out a form on the Twitter page, as well as our individual Twitter handles. So be on the lookout for when that meeting is due to happen, and please make your way there, because yeah, I think we learn a lot over there. Uh, we see so many strategies. We get to learn from one of the top traders, or some of the top traders that will be present during the day. And yeah, we are all here to learn, give each other some lessons. I think the most important thing in trading is that you keep adjusting, you keep learning, you keep adding on to your knowledge and all that. Talking of that, talking of adding on some new knowledge, I think from yesterday I hinted that there was, and also today, some time back, if you can replay this back there, we was talking about how is being affected by the fundamentals right now. That is the expected cuts on supply by the OPEC countries. That adds on, the diminishing supply and increasing demand. You remember that the U.S. economies are headed for the summer, and people might be traveling around a lot and all that. Therefore, demand for oil will be quite high during that. Is expected to be quite high during the summer period. So oil again is inching up today from being down at 79.8. Right now, we are playing well above the 80s. We already passed the 81 level. So again, on the commodity. Now, guess projections from China, as much as the US economy is expected to be on the rise in terms of demand for oil, the demand from China has not been quite the same. As a matter of fact, the Chinese economy seems to be slowing down, and therefore, China being a very large player in matters, oil demand is showing signs of weakness in demand. As the inventories which are already present in the country, the refineries which are already present in that country, are producing less and less, oil products to be used in, transportation sector, some of the services sectors that are dependent on oil. So again, the demand from China is not is not following the steps of its counterpart in the USA, where demand is expected to rise. So again, as much as oil is rising, I believe that this is just a case of buying the rumor, and that OPEC countries will be cutting supply by the end of the month. Basically, from up to 30th June to around September, the end of September. So I guess that is what the market is pricing in. So what are my immediate targets? In case you missed my earlier sentiments, my immediate target will be that 82. And by the way, just to update, I've been stopped trade to a stop out level. Yeah, and I was just checking out in the portfolio. I think I've been stopped out, and right now I think the biggest name in my portfolio should be Nvidia. I've been holding it for quite some time. Nvidia, although not significantly up, is again holding my portfolio intact. Same as silver. You remember I had already entered a silver position I think I'll be sharing that in the course of this stream. So my silver position again is still in the green. I'm riding quite nicely, although we are still in the early stages of that trade. We are yet to see the best of it, although it's quite up on the day. So thanks to those two names. And yeah, guess what, Walter? I was short the Nasdaq this morning.
Uh-huh. And you're doing good.
Yeah, this afternoon. Yeah, doing quite not a very small position, given that technically I've not seen signs of a bearish momentum. Therefore, maybe today the consolidation hopefully resolves in my favor. But I was in a very short position on the Nasdaq. I think I'll share with you later on as we interact, because I don't want to distort things at matter of sharing of windows and all that. So I'll show you that later on. Just a small short position on the Nasdaq, maybe expecting that we are long overdue on a retracement of that. Keeping in mind that the cheap names do not seem to be stopping. Qualcomm is joined the party. I don't know. Do you still have a position in Qualcomm? What happened to your Qualcomm position?
TP hit as of
Oh,
the open.
oh, nice,
I'm
nice,
very
nice.
high.
So yeah,
Miskosi, because
I was wondering why you're not talking about Qualcomm. Then I remembered you already had a position in Qualcomm. Again, thanks to the likes of Qualcomm, are not stopping. These things are moving. You were talking about
look,
Nvidia, but have you seen that Qualcomm chart moving and moving quite heavily? So maybe
go
watch
check
out
on
for that.
go check on my on Micron, MU. Check on Micron. You'll be
Oh,
surprised.
my
We are
micro is
six
moving.
percent.
Whoa,
Micron,
whoa,
MU.
so cheap. Yeah. So those things are not playing around. The chip names are not moving. Are not playing around. Yeah.
Be moving.
So
Actually,
if at all the chip names do not want to remain behind, then I'm guessing that Nasdaq for me should be springing up any moment. But remember that tomorrow is
anytime. Tomorrow is a holiday. It's a bank
an
holiday.
expected some slow move, like the whole of, yeah. This is Micron. Wow, wow. Micron is moving 6%.
Uh-huh.
Let me just have a look at this from zoom out on Micron. Wow, look at that. Look, that is. I'm expecting just similar to this. Chip names are on the rise. Tech names are on the rise. Tech bros in the US are not playing. You know, tech bros are not playing in the US. Wow,
Also, talk
that is
about
quite.
Lam. Lam is still doing good. Fairly good.
Yeah, yeah,
1.7, not bad.
yeah. Let me tell you something. I've not looked at Lamb, but you brought it up. I had a quick look, but did not. I think something came up. I was looking at something else, and I did not take so much attention on Lamb. But yeah, silver for me, yeah, one of my best performing uh, names, commodities for that matter. I think we remember that position we had. It was an order by the way. That is why I think I've not visualized it here. It was an order I had. I think I talked about it last week. I had an order at 28, expecting that we are going to hit that resistance and support, which is turning out to be very good support. Today we came down again to that level, and thank God I was not looking at my portfolio at the time because ningeshtuka sana. But again, yeah, we are moving on back up nicely. I guess on account of weakening to mean that commodities should be quite high. Now, this is something I wanted to help me out here, because I'm seeing a very resilient commodities market. In matter of the DXY seems to be on the rise, yet commodities are also moving green relatively. Given on where you stand now. I know that something like gold is safe haven for turmoil, times of turmoil, times when people don't know if you're getting a rate cut or not, times when we don't know what is going to happen in the future. So when you don't know what is going to happen, always buy gold. That is seems to be what the rhythm in the market. But so far, we have seen a very resilient commodities market. Silver again is one of the industrial metals that we have. So again, manufacturing, has not been subdued, and again, I'm expecting that silver and other metals that are used in production, that is in industries, will also be resilient. So what goes? What gives? Because someone was asking me today. You said that when you're trading, this is someone who is completely new to trading, and he was asking. So you said that this is gold versus the US dollar, and because whenever he's looking at my charts, I'm always on the gold chart. So you say this is gold over the US dollar. Then how comes the US dollar is rising and also gold is rising? I told him the same, but for maybe give anyone who might be asking the same question on stream your perspective, Walter, if at all you can.
Okay. One thing, we are not perfectly negatively correlated because as much as we can see a strong dollar, the gold as a commodity itself has an entire market of its own, and its own market dynamics where we have demand and supply, which happens different to the market. So it doesn't always mean that if we are experiencing a strong dollar, we have to experience a weak commodity. And I want to say commodity as a whole because we have recently seen the same on the US, on the WTI, the oil, and the same is being experienced by the silver market. So that is my general, naisema in a general perspective. But what is happening right now, we saw the weakening of the as per the retail sales. We have seen a weakening dollar kidogo. So I expect the commodities to batter the greenback kidogo. So yeah, that is it. That is what I think
Oh, well said.
on my end. Is it enough?
Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for that. So, if anyone is listening, the negative correlation is not as immediate as you will have read in the textbook, in such a manner that there are some times when commodities will be on the rise at the same time when the DXY or the dollar index or the dollar for that matter is also on the rise. Again, these commodities, these currencies, they have their own things that move their own markets. They have their, as Walter put it, they have their own factors of demand and supply. And therefore, it's not always that you're going to have gold moving in negative correlation to the dollar at any one time. So on an intraday basis, this is just an observation. On an intraday basis, that might sometimes be the case. But again, this plays out only when where there's an absence of other factors that affect the demand and supply of commodities. And especially for commodities, just go out and look at the commodities and how their demand and the supply is determined. So for something like silver, it is an industrial metal used in the production of different objects here and there, and therefore you can expect that being an industrial metal, when industries are in need of the commodity, they will not look at whether the dollar is high or low. There will just be demand for the metal. Therefore, the negative correlation is washed away. So something interesting on Tesla, just looking at this, and I've identified a particular zone that Tesla is holding on to today. So Tesla is holding on to 182.5, which to me serves as a resistance and support. And right now it is acting as our current support. Tesla holding out quite nicely at that level. As the Nasdaq is quite flat, still doing 0.08 of a percentage. So again, Tesla, although starting out kind of negative on the day, seems to be finding some kind of support at that 182.48 level. Again, Tesla is one of the names I have in my portfolio. Remember, right after the news came out that Elon was going to receive his pay package, I had an order I had an entry, although manually. I had an order, but price opened up higher than my order. Therefore, I had to do it manually. So I had one order at around 185. That tanked. So when we came back to this counter trend line, it's now turned our point of retracement. We had another order. I think we entered it manually somewhere around 179. I'll confirm that on my MT5. So right now, as I'm pleased as punch that we can at least hold out that 182.82 level. Again, looking for upside on the stock. My current targets still remain that 200 level. So I guess we are well into a zone or into a region where I would like Tesla to be playing, not quite lower than this, but if it plays within this particular general area, then I'll be pleased with the stock. So this is the zone I'm talking about. That 200 is my immediate target. So Tesla, for me, if it works in my favor, should be playing around that level, but not inching lower. If it is moving lower, then I'm at risk of being stopped out because I think I have given this stock to something under 173. Something under 177 should be around 174 or so, or 175 around there. So again, if it plays much lower than that, I'll be risk of being stopped out. But as long as we hold that current support, which we are holding on to right now, everything should be good for us to get to the 200 level. Again, you might have noticed that I play around with levels quite a lot, support and resistance levels. It's just how I view the markets, how I read everything, how I read price. And sometimes price respects those levels, sometimes it doesn't, but nothing is 100%. Certainty in these markets is something of a rarity. You cannot find it. It's very rare that you find certainty in these markets. So everything should be taken with a pinch of salt. Everything is probabilities. We say that trading is a game of probabilities and percentages. So how am I confident? What is my confidence level that a certain level will hold? Well, it should be if I'm getting the levels right. It should be something above 50% because this has worked time and time again. Not every time, but often the levels do hold, and we see this, especially for commodities such as gold. I think for those who follow me on my individual Twitter page, you have seen this. The levels holding out time and time again. So it's not as 100% certainty that the levels are going to hold, but there's increased confidence that those levels might be holding out. So I'm hoping that this level that I just identified on Tesla, again, for me, does hold and we keep moving higher than that. So looking at just zooming in on Tesla, you can see that particular bounce at the level. I think this is on the 15-minute. We came down here. We started out, I think we opened the day at around 187, came down significantly. Right now, we are bouncing off 180, 182, 183 over there. A nice bounce as the market, barely flat on the day, like I said. Right now, we are breaking the daily lows. So we are at around 198. We might be moving lower. That means it's bad news for Tesla, which might also follow its constituents, its partners, its comrades, and also move down. I think the bears are rejoicing somewhere in a corner. Even anyone, yeah, I had a short position on Nasdaq. It should be doing quite well. So if you're
What's
a
your
bear, if you're
what's your entry? What's your entry on that Nasdaq position?
let me read it out you on the platform right now. It's 19952.40. That was the price I got short on Nasdaq.
19.
19952.40.
Hmm.
19952.0 should be 199. Yeah, somewhere around here, around the top. So yeah, if it breaks down, I'll be doing good on the day, although not quite significantly. Yeah, so not bad as we break that daily low. I'm expecting Reddit is down 3% on the day. Bad news again,
Hey,
but worry, not to worry because yeah, that's a long-term hold for me. So nothing is. I'm unfazed. I'm unfazed. So, but I might be trailing stop losses. That's to balance the market, the money in my equity portfolio. Yeah, Tesla again moving down as expected as the market pushes down, pushes lower, but I think it's holding on quite well. But
Hmm.
that might change any one time because if the market is moving lower and Tesla has been weak on the day, then for those of you who follow trade stocks, a weak name, market moves down, I'm expecting that name to come crashing down. So immediate targets, if it's going to come down, should be that support level in and around. If my SP can just allow me to do that quickly, yeah, should be in and around. Oh no, yeah, should be in and around there. So again, levels. I like working with levels. So my immediate target will be around that point of support there. If indeed Tesla wants to come down, then that should be where I'll be looking. But I am not currently in going bearish on that stock. Like I said, I'm already holding long positions, but I also play cushioning trades, that is intraday trades, even when I have long positions for that matter. Another name that is quite weak on the day is Meta, and I think the market is just reacting to some of these names which are quite weak on the day. Meta is weak on the day, just over 1.5% down. Uh, oh, I have a level drawn out. Let me just check what that is. It should be quite significant. Oh yes, that was the range, yeah, the breakout range that we broken out of. I was late to the party of as always. When I identify good trades, I'm always late to the party somehow, often when it comes to stocks. I should be checking that out. So right now we are still we're moving down. We're not at broken yesterday's low, but we are convincingly tanking on the day as the market again trying to push down right now, breaking that daily low, looking to break to form even lower lows today. Is this the onset of the retracement? I'm not quite sure, but again, uh, a prophet, don't claim to be one. Yeah, so I just follow what goes on in the market. So right now we just broken the daily low, and we're moving lower. To sing. I think we've recorded a string of red candles ever since. When was this market open? Since market open, that is New York open, we've recorded a string of yellow, of red 30-minute candles, and that should be quite telling that the market today wants to see more red. Unless something spectacular happens, it's more red and more red. And yeah, for my intraday, that's quite helpful for me because yeah, I seem to have found a very good entry on the Nasdaq finally. Although I don't like selling the Nasdaq. I always love the bullish trend when the Nasdaq is printing us new greens each and every time. But once in a while, you are convinced that the market should be showing you some weakness, and maybe this is one of those days where we see the market as a human. Yeah, LOL. So yeah, it might be green all the way, but it's also weak sometime. So yeah, that's it. What's happening on your end? Nasdaq is quite strong despite a weak market. Nasdaq, sorry,
It
not the
is really
Nasdaq.
strong.
Yeah, Nvidia is
NVIDIA.
quite. Yeah, Nvidia is quite strong on the day, moving more than 1.7% up on the day. Just broke out, sorry, yeah, just tested that day's high or the opening high, but rejecting it. So maybe it wants to print as new green candles today. Hopefully it does because I think I'm still holding my Nvidia position. Yeah, and if the market wants to go red, Nvidia says you can take that direction, but I'm headed all the way up. So what's happening on your end?
Okay, before I go on, what's your NVIDIA entry?
Let me just read it out. Let me just quickly switch to the platform. Nvidia, my entry was 128.84.
Hmm,
128.84.
that's a good one.
124 should be around here. When we bottomed out, when we came down, you remember on that day I was saying that Nvidia should be bouncing. I think, yeah, we made that entry when it bounced in 128.84 around here when you made that bounce. and I was expecting a bounce up. And right now, seems to be doing quite okay.
Okay. Let me go back to my charts, and something interesting is happening. I think Nasdaq is tanking, but the S&P 500 looks very strong. Not really strong, but unfazed by the dumping stocks on Nasdaq. So uh, the the setup intact, but the counterpart up on Nasdaq doing wonders, breaking that support area which we had spotted earlier in the day. So the candle is 3 minutes to close and misbehaving, misbehaving. Tesla moving back up, as Jesse said, and something which is interesting on my end, I think it's Meta. Meta, I had drawn some zones, and this is the zone I'm drawn. I know it's a line, but this is how I'm looking at the zone. Let me just plot it because it's a box. Support and resistance points are zones, not lines. So this is a zone I'm looking at. This was a 15, I think, 5 minutes zone. Uh, so it just ran past it. Then we're looking at this zone. So hopefully, I expect price to react to that and, if possible, move back up. And if it moves back up from here, I want to show you the triangle, the beautiful triangle it is creating. And this is what I'm looking at. A very good pennant. It's a beautiful pennant. And it's a very interesting week. We're doing good for the week. That's a very beautiful pennant and better seen on the hourly. And yeah, that's a very good continuation. So we just wait for the point D to to establish itself. If it wants to go lower, so that we can see a better point D, well and good. But one on Amazon, Amazon is going down and down and down. Looking to test yesterday's lows, and you see, I told you I have a position. It was just a big wetter, so nothing much, nothing. It's like a small loss, not bad. Uh, that one can fly, no worries. What else am I looking at? I think I was looking at Google. Google wants to shift the point D and it wants to go lower. So we will shift the point D when it says we shift. So nothing much. I still expect price to come back up. I don't know why it's only the Nasdaq which is misbehaving. The rest of the market is just okay because I can see some up and up on Tesla, some gains reversed for Lam. Lam is reversing some gains, so not bad because it was really bullish the entire since the open. So it's okay. Nothing much. Uh, what else can we look at? We can look at the health of our BSC trade, and our BSC trade is very slow. This is why I don't like mid caps. Very slow. After the open, volume imeshaisha. We're looking at 15 minutes, one candle, 8.9K volume. That's very low. 105 volume. Wow, I wish it was millions. But the setup is still intact. We'll just wait, but we'll suffer some swaps because of a very slow market. So it happens. Uh, that happens, and we can talk about anything else. What can we see on this other end? I think the market might be bottoming out and trying to go much higher. And we can look at Nvidia, the Nvidia Apana. Let's look at Adobe. Adobe, the Nini qualifies. I'm sorry. This qualifies Adobe. We have a setup now because the consolidation, we have it. We have a counter trend line. We just wait for a breakout. So finally, we have that setup on Adobe. So like we do from the trough low to the trough high, and then that's our height of that's the height of our setup. And we see a breakout. I think we expect the 550s. We expect this to rest to the 550s. So something to watch. I think I'll just wait for the market. If the market gives us a good turnaround, I think I'll just enter this position. But right now, I'm not in a hurry to do that because I think I have a lot of stocks on my watch list right now. But the market looks to go up. I think we can see some substantial rebound all over. We can see we can see Tesla going up. We can see Softy going up. Let's see, let's look at Softy. What Softy is doing. We can see Softy trying to bottom out, and we can see what else. What else can we see? We can see Nvidia losing some gains. No, it's trying to go back up, and we see Nvidia. We expect it at 134s, 55s, and I don't know where my good friend here Jesse is planning to TP his position, but I know he's crazy enough to hold it to the end of the month. So. That is Jesse for you. And what else can we look for? We can look at SMCI returning its gains. I think we saw it as up as 4% early in the day. And right now it's really imerudisha gains chini kabisa. And like I told you, I think I mentioned this. I think I mentioned this pre-market. Pre-market, I told you this guy. What we expect from SMIC SMCI, I'm sorry, Supermicro Computers. We expect price to go there. There, we saw this. I'm really having a bad time with this mouse. I think it's time to change my mouse. You
Did
can
your
see
cat take the
there.
other one?
Huh? No, no, no,
Did your
not
cat?
really. So we made another high, we made another low, probably a retest, and then we might see price going back much higher because we already have we already playing above we're already playing above we're already trading above the counter trend line of the 4 hour time frame, 4 hour setup. So I want to show you guys, show it to you. But something funny about Super Microcomputer Incorporation is that its stock moves very fast. And if you're not keen, you might be, if you put in a very tight stop loss, you might gain as far you might gain fast, but you can easily be stopped out. So that's super microcomputers for you. So if you ever interact with this stock, I don't like playing it. Plus HFM doesn't have it on the list, so be very careful when you're interacting with it. It's a stock which can go as high as 10% in a day and phased na isisikie kitu yote. So you see what I'm trying to say. So uh, what are we seeing on this other side? Very slow, Bank of America. Uh, into can we talk about into we talked about into some time back, and into is just there. I think it bottomed. It bottomed. It's now coming back up after the earnings report. It's coming back up, and I showed you guys a very near setup on the monthly time frame of a cup and handle. Hiyo ni kitambo. Wow. Anyway, it's a very huge setup. So if it breaks here, that's on the monthly. So these are very long play. These are position trade. So if it breaks here, we expect price to go much higher. But right now, because we are not really intraday, but intermediate swing in these positions, I personally, because somebody here doesn't want to ataki kuwa mrengo mmoja, he wants to, he can go low, he can swing, he can scalp. Jesse anakuaga na maneno. Anyway, um, I want to talk about something else. I think I talked about banking stocks moving higher and higher, so that's not something to worry us. And I think we can talk about. Don't want to talk about Robinhood, but I think Robinhood as the app, it has the best. I think it has the best overnight positions, and I think if I want to see how my positions are behaving pre-market, before pre-market, and after hours, there is something called in Robinhood. You can just go key and Robinhood overnight. It says overnight, and then you key in the stock. It's a, you can key in Robinhood overnight Tesla, Robinhood overnight Palantir. So at least you are in touch with how price is moving when it is not being provided for on the ticker, on the I mean on the ticker, and then on the if your broker bado hajafungua or trading view, because trading view it's after hours, and after hours I think we can after hours, as I think from 12 up to 11 the next day, there is no market action which is provided by TradingView. So yeah, that's what happens. So I have just given you a loophole. You can just go to Robinhood. It's a very good platform. Unfortunately, we can't use it when you're here. So nimewapea ka loophole hapo, so that you cannot say that you don't know what price is doing, at oh, we saw a gap up and we were not ready. No, gap ups, you have to understand gap ups and where how they form, because price action runs all round. So that is Amazon for you. If I get stopped out, that's okay. I told you why I did this for Amazon. It was just a big wetter to see if I can manage to get an early entry. It happens, but as long as you have risk management on your end, doesn't worry you much, because you are human. Sometimes you can get greedy. And what is the best way to handle your emotions if you're not tied to the mast of what? Risk management, and a sound one in that perspective. So that is that. And then I want to talk about the alarm. Alarm is going back up. Alarm is going back up, and everybody is excited. Everybody, I see the streets, everybody is happy, but not very happy about the finance bill. Anyway, just say, what are you looking at on your end?
Yeah, you mentioned Nvidia, and my target will be around $140 region. So that's we are quite a long way from 140. Yeah,
140.
140 should be my target.
Okay.
Should be my target on Nvidia. But
I told
once I
you.
say 140, I
I,
don't mean that I cannot close any other time, until you get to 140. There's something called trailing stop.
140 Goja, wait. I know trailing. I know you trail and you
Yes.
take partials, but what I'm asking about why 140? Please tell us why
One,
140. You also want.
okay. So one of the conditions is this. You remember before the year started, I think I was reading these articles. I like to see where my evaluations on Nvidia and other people expect this stock to go. So I read. I think we were playing around the thousands at that time. We were everyone was waiting for us to break. I think was it. Let me just go back and check. Right here, everyone was waiting for Nvidia to come and break. Uh, where was this? No, I think I'm zoomed in too much. Let me just go to the daily and see. There was a consolidation right here, exactly. So we are playing around the 900. Everyone was waiting for that 100. Yeah. So at that point, just look at that. So look at this area right here. So once we really picked up momentum on Nvidia, I think it was around the beginning of this year. Once this stock picked up momentum, we were looking at. Oh, I've used the long tool instead of the ruler. So once we really picked up momentum, this is what we were looking at. You were saying your mouse has a problem. I think mine has a bigger one. So there, so you are looking at that kind of movement until you get to that 100 level. So once we broke out that 100 level, I expected that the stock will do the same thing. Not measure that, just measure that again. I expected that that is around 4,400, yeah. So coming here, I extrapolate that 4,400, there, 4,400. There, see? So that level points to exactly 139.11. And given that the second wave of the rise of this stock was always going to be bigger, therefore I increased my valuation kidogo, nikafikisha from the 139, it's just $1 up. So nikapeleka hadi 140. So that is where my target is. So I just looked at that. Yeah, I know, I know. You like to use, yeah, you
It's
like to
okay.
use this tool, so let me use it.
We all have our own ways of how to
Yeah,
get
yeah,
to estimate our
exactly. So,
opportunities. I just wanted to ask for
oh yeah.
that so that we can see where you're
In
coming
fact, it's
from.
at
So yeah,
exactly
it
140.
checks out. If it works
Yeah,
for you,
it
it
works for me.
checks
So
out. If it works for you,
that's my immediate target. So I think we're running out of time. So in case you have not told these guys this before, I think our number one, number one is holding how many percentage right now? 5,000. The last time I checked. Yeah,
5,000.
go to
Yeah,
Twitter. Go to
Johnston.
Twitter,
Hey,
please. Hashtag TTKE. That is double TKE. Hashtag TTKE. You will see everything that is happening around there. You will see how guys are acting their game. Guys are really onto this competition. Guys are not here to joke. Guys are really pulling big numbers, man. Numbers I've never pulled, man. So yeah, it's
hey,
quite phenomenal.
this
Yeah,
man.
I've never dreamt of making 5,000% on my portfolio, and unless I'm buying one of these coins, though I'm not a big crypto trader. Yeah, so maybe I'm holding. If I held Nvidia since 1999, maybe that will have been the case. I don't know. But yeah, guys are making huge numbers. Go check out hashtag TTKE. Follow us on our individual handles. Follow the top traders Kenya Twitter handle at top traders Kenya. We'll be here each and every day from 3:30 to around 6:30 to give you the best of what we're looking at. Watch us do our thing, see how we interpret the market, see how we read the markets. Yeah, ask us anything, interact with us. You know, do the thing, man. We are free. If you want to join,
Our recording,
yeah, go to
YouTube
YouTube,
records. We
watch
have
our
our
previous
recording.
entries, see how I got into my Tesla longs, see how Walter got into BlackRock, not BlackRock. Oh my God. Uh, sorry,
BlackRock,
no,
Lam,
your alarm and
and
Qualcomm,
Qualcomm.
see how he got that Qualcomm trade, how he analyzed it. Yeah, see how we trade, man. Just get exposed to us. If you want to join us also on the stream, reach out to us and we'll know, do the thing, and we'll see how we work it out. So for me, I guess that this is goodbye. Time is running out, and I'll give it to Walter to make his remarks. So see you guys tomorrow. I hope you made good gains today. Euro USD traders, whoever was in a buy, you're my enemy, but yeah, it's all good this side of the river. Yeah, and yeah, same thing, same time, every day, all weekdays here. Watch out for our spaces. We think we also had a space yesterday. Listen to the guys how they interpret the markets. Yeah, and have a good one. Have a great day, Kenyans. We see you again here tomorrow.
Okay. On my end, I don't have much to say. I think that was a very good closing remark from Jesse. He is rarely here towards the end of the show, but I want. Uh, can I bring you back to the chats kidogo, if you don't mind me? So,
Okay. Okay.
what am I looking
Sawa,
at?
sawa.
I'm looking at Apple, and Apple is trying to close in, and I've just plotted this when Jesse was talking too fast because he wants to go home. Anyway, this is how it looks, and that is the triangle, and looks to have found I think a support, and hopefully it will go up from here because the market is looking to go back up. I can see Nasdaq is trying to go back up, and What else am I looking at? Tesla is trying to break down again. I don't know why, but Google doing the same, doing the same. So it was our Mag 7 day, but Mag 7 why? Because we thought we could see the setups break out, but they didn't break out. But it was our Mag 7 day because uh, they had very similar setups, especially Google, Apple, Meta, and Amazon, and I think we can see a higher price print towards the close of the day. So I'll be here. I'm always here. It's just a breather because I can't be talking for hours and hours, but I'm here if you want to converse. You know my handle. But keep it traders. Keep it top traders, Kenya. Join the competition. We have our YouTube. We have our YouTube channel. You can just go there, check the. Yeah, if you missed anything, go back there, review. Kutu sawa. Thank you guys for being with us here. Another day, another dollar. Okay.
Well, before you leave, before you bounce,
Okay.
who's the Mag 7? Is the Tesla, is the Nvidia part of the Mag 7? Would you say
Yes,
it
it
is
is.
part of the
Yes, it is. Why not?
So who dropped
And
off? Who dropped? Who sold their position to Nvidia?
wait. Who is apart from Nvidia? Who is there? Sema. If it's not Nvidia, who is the seventh one? I just want to hear the seventh one. If not MC,
Okay,
do tell.
okay.
Wambie, who
So it
is
was.
that big?
So it
You
was.
know why? You know why? You know why? Because why? Thing is,
Uh-huh.
Nvidia is one of the highest capitalized stocks we know. Companies right now.
True,
Yeah.
true, true.
How can we skip Nvidia and talk about all the other companies as Mag Sevens and miss out Nvidia? But because he was not
True.
at the party when it was starting. So no,
Yeah.
this guy has come here and wants to take the reins, and he will take the reins because I know it's a semiconductor. Cheap names, sahi si kitu ya kulalia. Wow.
You should
Aha.
be looking at a new name. It's not. It's not. It should not be called the Mag 7 anymore. You should look for a new name.
Ah.
What did they?
Okay,
What did they call it
in
before?
your
They had a
opinion,
name.
wait, in your opinion,
Yes.
who's
Yes.
supposed to be number seven apart from Nvidia? Who's supposed to be number seven?
It's Nvidia. It's Nvidia,
Ah,
obviously.
acha tuende tu hapa kwa sababu you have started contradicting yourselves. Anyway,